What's good? What's good? What's good, fans? Well, thank you guys for tuning in once again to the baddest show in all the land. That's the Voice of the Fans podcast. Got my man Cleavon up in the Northwest. How's it going up there, Chief?
Going all right, man. A little unseasonable weather, but other than that, it's good.
What you guys dealing with up there? Today it was
Man,
about 72 degrees.
tornado warnings for the first time, Cam, I've ever heard of up in these parts
Oh my goodness!
yesterday.
Tornado running for the whole region, or for you guys in Renton?
No, it was a little bit further north up in Kitsap and
Mm,
Washington County, but tornado nonetheless.
yeah, okay. It's Man, it was 72 degrees here. I don't know what to tell you. Um, I only wore this light jacket, because it might get a little cool breeze every now and then that I just wanted to prepare for. But yeah, it's 72 degrees down here in Southern California, Chief. Just want to
Sounds
update you.
lovely.
Just
Sounds
want to
lovely.
update you guys, fans,
Cool.
wherever you listen to us, however you listen to us. Again, we appreciate you tuning in. This is the Voice of the Fans podcast. This week, we're not gonna waste Cleveland's time this week. This week, we're gonna talk about the NFL weekly recap, give you a preview to next week. We're going to talk about our weekly power rankings and how our supremacy rankings played out. We're going to get to this week in the NBA. As always, we're going to talk about this week in history. And then apparently Cleveland wants to have a fantasy football conversation. So we'll see.
Only if you're willing and only if you're up to it, Cam. I mean,
We'll see. We'll, we'll
we'll see how
see.
you feel about it. I feel fine about it.
You feel fine about it. Listen to him, folks. He's ready to go. He's ready to go at the drop of a word. Fantasy football, Cleveland. Go ahead and tell them why you're so excited about fantasy football.
I mean, just lounging in first place, doing what I do. It was such, so strategic the way I came from the very beginning. Building this team from the ground up, and I've just created the Death Star. So yeah,
I mean, if I remember correctly, I lost to you by 7 or 8 points. If I remember correctly, I'm gonna have to go to the spreadsheet and check it out. But if that is, am I not correct in saying that?
Cam, I don't remember an L's an L, and after it's over and done with, I don't really go back into all the
Mm-hmm.
specifics. The granular, kind of,
And that's a
line
mistake you
items
make
of
right there.
why you lost. I just did what I want.
There's a exact mistake right there, right? That's why I'm gonna prevail the next time we should face off. Um, you talking about all this snatch and you built the team from the ground up and all this. You had 8 weeks to play with it. Well, there's only been 8 weeks, obviously, with 9 weeks. We're going to the ninth week, right about the midpoint of the season, being there 17 games. So, as the way I see it, is I'm only a couple places out of first place, and once you get into the playoffs, all I need is a chance because my squad, um, Cooper, Allen, been consistent. You joked about Aaron Jones, but he plays Sunday, and the other guy who you was touting about, I don't know that he's playing Sunday or the next Sunday. I got Damian Harris in the backfield, Hunter Henry, and I keep getting caught between Claypool and Hopkins, not knowing which one to put on the field. So that's the way we going. And of course, I got Baker Mayfield down there because you guys love to hate Baker, but I got Baker Mayfield rolling. I'm rolling with Baker Mayfield. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and fans, just to hold Cam accountable, let's wait to see that tweet where he comes out on Derrick Henry and says, he's a bunch of doo doo because he hurt his foot. And, I'm so glad I didn't draft you. I'm just waiting for that tweet. And then we will all feel better about your previous comments.
Well, what do you? I'm
Is
not
that
sure
what
what
you're
you.
trying to say, Cam? I mean, be forthcoming about it.
No, what I said again. I'm pretty
Okay, you
capable of
see him
speaking the English
backpedaling?
language.
Woo! That
I'm
Cassius
pretty
Clay
capable.
type of
Uh,
fluid movement. Yeah, backpedaling.
Backpedaling for what? I've already told you. It's
Okay.
without
So
question.
okay, all I'm
I
saying,
pick one
all
guy
I'm
who
saying
plays on
is,
Sunday
all
and
I'm saying is, put that on
another guy who doesn't
Twitter.
play on
What you're
Sunday.
saying about King Henry and how you're disrespecting right now, just go ahead and do that. That's all I'm asking.
I mean, you want me to go to Twitter? I'm saying what I got to say right here. Because is Dak Prescott healthy? I mean, we're going to get into some of this later, but Cleveland's so excited to have this fantasy football discussion right now. Is that Prescott healthy?
It's plenty healthy.
Huh?
It's plenty healthy.
Michael Pittman stepping up. I know you drafted him late because I drafted him. I think 15th in another league, and he's been stepping up. Devontae Adams. I mean, is he playing on?
Yeah, he'll be just
Sunday?
fine against the Seahawks. We'll see what he can do.
You wouldn't stole Najee Harris and George Kittle and Jerry Judy, huh? That's who you rolling with. And out of nowhere, the guy who's been holding you up, surprisingly, is that tight end, Uzuma. Where'd you get that tip at? You had
Oh man, I just
you
Cam,
put the tight end
studying
out
film.
there.
Cam
You
studying
put,
film. Going
studying film.
going through my progressions and kind of finding out who the talent is, those diamonds in the rough, and I just I came up with him.
Man, he's been paying out for you sweetly. I noticed that for a few weeks, but that's okay. Like I said, I'm comfortable with the squad I picked, and we riding it out. So we riding it out right now. We a couple games out of first place. We're gonna leave it at that, and we know what's cracking because it's not that far away from. All you need to do is get in the playoffs, right?
Right.
And
That's what I gotta
then
do.
once we get in the playoffs, I mean, who knows, right? Who knows? If it's first and sixth seed, somebody better watch out. That's all we got to say. But as
Okay,
we get it
Cam.
started,
It's kind of a tough hill to climb for you right now, but yeah, man. I hope you
we
get there.
we we
I
two
hope to see you there.
we 2 games out of playoffs. That's all that matters. Right now, we're gonna talk about our numbers as we get into it each and every week. We have our numbers. It being November 17th, week 165 with the Voice of the Fans podcast, we think of number 17. When you see the number 17, when you think of number 17, what do you think? Who comes to your mind first, or who wore that number the best?
The person that comes to mind first, Cam, when I think of the number 17 is, the first African American quarterback to win a Super Bowl, Doug Williams. It's the first person that comes to mind. Who wore it best? I mean, probably that Celtic, Hondo, John Havlicek with all the rings probably wore it best. But the first person that comes to mind is Doug. Probably more in the orange than in the Redskin. Excuse me, in the Washington football team, maroon and yellow. But that's person that comes to mind first.
Okay, yeah, he's I mean, I gotta go with Dave Craig, man. Come on, Dave Craig. He should drop back and hit Steve Largent on these bombs, bro. Out of nowhere, these guys didn't have no talent whatsoever, but they were still catching the league by surprise. Um, Dave Craig and Steve Largent, that was a combination. Obviously, once they went ahead and made that permanent switch from Zorn to Craig, man, those guys was going. He was slingshotting with John Elway, and they had no business doing it, and you know that. So that was always kind of interesting. So number 17, Dave Craig, come to my mind first. When you think of number 65, obviously you got to go to the lineman. I mean, Greg Zimmerman, probably the best one to wear it over Elvin Bethea. What you think?
I'll be perfectly 100% honest with you, Cam. Nothing comes to mind with the 65, man. It probably should, but there's nothing there.
No, he said nothing there. Okay.
Empty in the tank.
Okay. Well, man, let's revisit some stuff real quick since we midway through the season. Kind of go off script if you want. Sammy Watkins.
Yeah. How's he doing?
Let's double check and see where Sammy Watkins is. What kind of production Sammy Watkins?
Pull his stats up. Would you like for me to do it at the same time so that we're on the same page, or you just want to do it yourself? No, I trust you to do it. Go ahead, man. What you got for me?
If you want to pull it up, you're more than welcome to pull it up. Since you think you need to get your
I
forensic
trust your word on Sammy Watkins, for crying out loud. What you got for me?
Sammy Watkins, 18 receptions so far this year, 5 games. 5 games. Just man, you gotta like my fantasy football squad. You
Is
gotta
he
have a hell of a
healthy?
kick.
Is he a
You gotta
healthy
help. You
scratch
gotta.
going into next week, or how we feeling about him?
I mean, he gonna be there. He's gonna be all right.
Okay,
He's gonna be all right. We expected a little bit more production out of him. To be honest with you,
so
but
a little bit below pace with regards to getting to that 50, but we'll see what he can do. Okay, thanks for revisiting that. Yeah, I wasn't sure what Sammy Watkins' production really has been because I have not heard hide nor hair of him, but now we know that it's 18 catches. Cool. 10
I
games into the
mean,
season. Okay,
ten
cool.
games, ten
So
games
for
into the
projecting
season.
that a little less than 30 catches. Okay, cool. Next topic.
I mean, that's what dude is doing right now. What
Yeah,
am I?
that's his production. Nothing you can do about it. That's just Sammy Watkins in a nutshell. I was just wondering what the next topic of discussion was. What else we got?
So yeah, Sammy Watkins surprisingly is underperforming this year. I
Not
said he's gonna
surprising.
get.
It's not surprising. It's just probably
I
surprising
said
to you, but yeah.
he's targeted to be what at 38. That's under 50. What I predicted he would do. So I did have that as you see. Can you see it? There
There it
you
goes
go.
now. There you
I
go.
had I had it right there. Okay. And so let's see. That's one we had to do some research on, folks. Just kind of on the fly. Um, Here's another one. Deshaun Watson
Mm.
or Deshaun
Sean
Jackson. Excuse me.
Jackson. Yeah.
Excuse me. So what's up? He played already 6 games with the Rams,
Did he
and
play 6 full games? I mean, did he actually play the 6 games?
I mean, what do you mean? Did he actually play the 6 games?
Yeah.
And then he's gonna get traded. He's about
I
to
mean,
get
does he have
traded.
stats for those 6 games, or just? I mean, come on now.
Does he have stats? What do you mean? Does he have stats for
Did
those
he play?
games?
Did he play in 6 games, or he was just like dressed for 6 games?
He got 8 reception, bro, for 220 yards. What was our prediction?
The
And he's
over under
gonna
was 8 games for his availability. So
let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Now he wants to be technical. Did he play?
mhm.
He's still available because he's gonna get re-signed by the Raiders if I remember correctly.
Okay. Well, he has to play. So
I mean, why else? I mean, you know what happened to their other deep threat, so why wouldn't he play? So this season, did he had
yeah,
every game?
that's already too much
No,
attention
no,
being
no, no, no. To
given
to answer
towards Deshaun Jackson.
to
So
well to answer your question, you asked a different question. He I he played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games already.
okay.
He actually played. He had
If he
snaps in all of these games. He
if he
had
played
snaps.
if he played in all 8 games, then okay.
That's yeah. That was a
Well,
that was
we'll
that's
see
what
if
we're
we'll
visiting
see.
now.
Well,
Now
then
don't get all
no,
don't get all sensitive
let's
now
let him
because
get picked up by another team and play in a few games.
we don't need a few games right now. We need one more game actually. He played in 7 games. He needs one more game, and that would be well. That's an over under right there
Okay,
to break even.
excellent.
So yeah, you need a couple. We need a couple games. This one here, just revisiting fans right now. We just revisiting some predictions that we had prior to the season
Mhm.
and midway through the season. Just want to identify where we're coming out because some things Cleveland will just throw out there and they're just wildly incorrect. And then when I throw something out there, they're most often correct, as we see from what we're doing right now. Um, Kyle Pitts will not make the play. Will not make the Pro Bowl. I told you he probably made the Pro Bowl against the Dolphins alone. That game a couple of weeks ago against the Dolphins when he went 185. Who's going to make the Pro Bowl over him?
improbable that he would make the Pro Bowl. Cam, I will have to look at the
The
list of the
NFC
NFC
is Kittle.
Pro Bowl tight ends, but he's not really standing out right now.
Is it Kittle? What do you mean he's not standing
We're
out
not
again?
100% sure. Can we have to revisit
Oh,
this whole
you
thing?
sound a little nervous right now. You can't even pick a guy ahead of him in the process.
Cam, we have to reassess what's going on here at the tight end position in the NFC, and then we'll have an answer for you.
Okay. Now, see, Cleveland. That's exactly what we're saying. Cleveland to throw some stuff out there, and it just doesn't come to fruition. Now let's go see what we got when we go here.
I'm nervous on this one, Cam. I don't feel it.
What do you mean you nervous on this one? Why are you nervous?
I don't think he's going to gain over 850. Don't think he has it in him.
I mean, why not? Oh, now you ready? This one here, he's ready to back down.
I'm ready. I'm ready to admit my defeat there. Yeah, I don't think that he's durable enough to do it, and he's way behind the 8 ball. He's missed several games. That would be a tough task. Fans, I think that I lost that one. If Chris Carson proves me wrong, then he's a mighty dude. But right now, yeah, I don't feel confident about that one at all.
Well, at least he's not ducking from that one right now. At least he's not ducking from that one. Here we go, right now.
Ooh, Cam, how you feel about that one?
I feel comfortable. I feel very well. I told you I predicted 11 wins, so I'm good. We got half the season to go. They go another 5-3, and then win their final game. We in the bag. That's in the bag. That's in the bag. That's a worst case scenario that they go 5-3. In worst case scenario, we already there. I mean, they might mess around and go 6-1. I mean, you better figure it out. You better figure it out. I noticed that pick sheet every week is a little different. It reads a little different when you get to the Chargers. I know. So yeah, I hope that should be in the mail already. We already talked about that one.
We did very early into the season, and lately, I kind of retracted that one. So.
Oh, you kind of retracted that one, or you committed defeat? You committed to
no. What I'm saying is, early I was admitting defeat, and so I've retracted that. Yeah, no, that's going to need to play its whole self out. The Los Angeles Chargers are good sometimes, and sometimes not so good. So, yeah. Not that consistent greatness that you were referring to in that culture thing. Yeah, not so much. 5-3.
Listen to him.
5-3 with 9 games left. So no.
Well, we'll see what happens because I did
next
say
NBA MVP will be an American-born player.
Yeah, obviously that's still yet to be seen with the NBA just getting underway, but yeah, we saw what one European player decided to do when somebody NBA come messing with them, right? And then now they want to get their little Twitter beef going back and forth. Who cannot like the Morris brothers and what they stand for? However, these some Europeans coming over here. We don't know what cartel they mixed up in back home. We don't want to get no brothers. We don't need to get a gang of brothers involved because one of them.
You do not want Eastern Promises cats, man, with the star tattoos. Viggo Mortensen coming for you, man. You don't want that.
Yeah, we don't want to get too. Yeah, we don't want to push it too far now, fellas.
The tough streets of Philly are not quite the same
as Eastern Europe, man. We don't know who's who over there. So okay, let's keep it on the court, fellas. I love y'all. You have nothing to prove here, nothing to show off about here. Let's keep it on the court because we saw what Eastern European went to go do the other day. So that's we'll see. It's yet to play out. And then here we go right here. Before we get the show started, I'm not sure I'm not sure. We're gonna get to this in later in the show. So let's not say. I'm gonna leave that right there. Actually, I'm gonna leave that right there. I mean, we got a few more to go through, but I'm gonna come back to that one because we're gonna talk about that one. Yeah, yeah. You're not getting over that one too easy. And then what happened here? What happened was what? Anything to say?
I mean, they won 90 games. Come on, get out of here. They were one game out of making the playoffs. No, I don't feel bad about that whatsoever.
Well, I mean, did it make the playoffs or not? I mean,
no, they did not.
Oh, okay.
They missed the playoffs by one game.
Okay, so they got you guys hot and excited, and then decided to go home early, huh?
So what do we got here?
Mac Brown over under 8 games.
The way your Dolphins keep laying down for those guys in the division, I probably lost that one. I'll chalk that up to an L.
I mean, there was no reason to even bring that
first part up. Up to an L.
That wasn't even no reason to bring that first part up.
I mean, Tua with his fingers.
I told you we didn't we ban Dolphins talk on the show. We banned Dolphins talk on the show. Cool. See, you try to sneak that in. You think you're slick. You try to sneak that in after we banned it on the show. And you try to.
As I'm looking at this, I was expecting another performance.
I don't know why.
The Miami Dolphins of what they had last year, which was 10 wins. Buffalo trying to establish themselves as kind of one of the bullies in the AFC. Yeah. I thought, 8 wins was like insurmountable. But then I'm seeing that, the Miami Dolphins only have 2 wins at this point. So it's a little bit different.
I mean, yeah, that's your boy.
My fault for thinking that the Miami Dolphins were going to be better than they actually are.
Why don't you tell us, since you got a hotline to Steve Nelson and Brian Flores, why don't you tell us what's going on down there? Because nobody else in the football world can understand it.
They're having patience with Tua Tagovailoa.
Man, come on, man. They got some trash coaches, man. They got some trash coaches.
A few pit stops in the road, but hey, hopefully he'll be healthy in the next week or two.
Hopefully he'll be. Cleveland, was this predictable or not, bro? Was this predictable or not? You running a
injury is never predictable.
Cleveland, you running a multi-million-dollar industry, right? You got hundreds of $1 million flowing at your team's doors every day.
Cam, and this is the best you can do. Protect against the possibility of injury, but
Cleveland,
injury in and of itself
is
unpredictable.
Cleveland, tell the people the single reason I was not interested in this guy. I told you. It had nothing to do with talent, bro. There was an injury history with the best money in college. Goodbye. Tell the people I haven't said that, Cleveland, for 3 years now. And now, you act like you haven't heard that before. That's something. that's part of the reason we banned the show, folks. Cleveland derailed me by trying to sneak them in they're talking about the Buffalo Bills. Or the New England Patriots. He snuck the Dolphins line in there and kind of got me off pace. I told you that we had banned Dolphins talk from the show. And now you're going to act like you didn't hear me say for 3 years, do not draft this injury-prone quarterback who can't get it done. And the jury's up. We've already proven that he's an injury-prone quarterback. That part's already check. All right, now can he get it done? We still don't know because he can't get on the field. So in 2 seasons, he played less than 1 season. And don't give me all this that he started under COVID and all this. Come on, stop it, man. There's game changers, there's difference makers. He's not that guy. I don't know why everybody was drooling over him, and then now they want to keep giving him a try. Come on, man. That don't work nowhere else. But when you're up in the Northwest or on the West Coast, because that guy Tua Tagovailoa, man, come on. I don't know why you get me started on these guys. The head coaching decisions, come on, man. If it's not Tua, so you tell me, cats want to get on Russell, right? For this is something that happened in the Super Bowl after he played a full season, gets in the Super Bowl, and then there was a misunderstanding or whatever, bad call, bad play, whatever. Russ have made that throw? Maybe not. He shouldn't have made the throw. However, the pick was intercepted, right? First of all, he's in a position to make something happen. That's number one. He's in a position to win a game. So that's number one. I'm not comparing that season's worth of ups and downs and production to this one play. But this is just a semblance of what happens when two guys at quarterback. Tua dropped back in the end zone, bro. They're 1st and 13 from their 3. He drops back in the end zone, bro, and throws it to your man, Jalen Waddle, a screen pass to Jalen Waddle, who gets tackled in the end zone for a safety. Now, obviously, that's a dumb play call, but then that's a worse pass, and that's no play recognition. When you recognize that your guy is going to get tackled in the end zone, you don't throw him the damn ball. You throw it out of bounds. You throw it up the field. Why not try to throw up the field more than 10 yards? Why not try to? There's a wide field out there. Everybody's closing down. That's when you go up the field, guys. That's how difficult is that? And I don't know if Brian Flores if he's not bright enough to understand it because he focuses on defensive linemen and linebackers. I don't know. I'm lost. I'm clueless. I don't know why we have certain players out there. I don't know what our GM is doing. I don't know why we haven't made this trade for Desean Watson that I've been talking about for a year and a half. Like, I don't know. I don't know. And Cleveland, shame on you for derailing me like that. And we're going to move on to our more predictions. And fans, blame Cleveland. What's your Twitter handle, Cleveland?
Oh, it's at Clevie Wonder on Twitter. And
you see, he's tickled too. He's tickled too, fans. Hey, you go ahead and let Cleveland know what you think of him derailing the show like that. Because Mac Brown, by the way, will win 8 games. And I told again, these are predictions that we had going into the NFL season. So over the summer, that we're just reliving and finally circling.
Let's look at that one. Brooklyn Nets will win the NBA Finals. Ivers happy hour.
Oh, we got a long way to go. we got a long way to go.
Oh man, fans, for y'all to know about Ivers happy hour, yeah, that's gonna be a good time. I cannot wait for that one. Woo.
Arizona Cardinals will finish first in NFC.
The Arizona Cardinals will finish last in the NFC West in 2021, says Cam for a Brazilian dinner. Woo! And you know how they come down on the thing. Woo! Oh my goodness. They come down so thin on them fans. You ever been to those Brazilian places? Oh my God. And they bring all different kinds of ones out. Oh my God. Woo! Man, I'm getting chubby already, fans. I've already gained 15 pounds looking at this.
What? Man,
what's next, Cam? Keep rolling them out.
Man, that's wow. Man, I don't even remember making this prediction.
Oh, you were quite confident at the time. So much so it's on the ticker. I'm just waiting for the rest of the,
Yeah, because we were talking about how the NFC West is going to play out.
Mm-hmm.
It had the Niners. I might have had the Niners winning that. Actually, I might have had the Niners winning that division.
I mean, you might want to go back and revisit it another time, but yeah, that's Brazilian. That's Brazilian. Yeah, that's going down.
Oh, look! Now he's super excited.
I'm super excited seeing all of this, back inventory coming out. What else is on there, man? Throw it out there.
Yeah, so we just reliving our revisiting the predictions that we made. That was the last one, actually. Our predictions that we made.
Cool.
Early on
to work on.
Yeah, we got a season to go, man. But these are our predictions to see how things will play out. But they're on the ticker, and the Cleveland's salivating because of that one.
I sure am. That one looks like a done deal. So sorry.
Yeah, it's cool. I don't know. We gotta see how things play out with his little shoulder that he had to sit out a game for. We're gonna get to that actually. Uh,
Yeah. Let's
we
get to
we talked
that.
about the numbers actually last week.
Hmm.
And yeah, well, speaking of Kyler Murray, who had to sit out the game, the Cardinals go ahead and we had them over the Niners, but they look confident with the young quarterback and kind of pounding the Niners. Better win for the Cardinals with a backup quarterback, or worse loss for the Niners losing to a team with a backup quarterback?
Oh, much better win for the Cardinals. I mean, you can see that they can continue to establish their presence of authority without the starting quarterback or the starting wide receiver. My goodness, how you do that?
Yeah, man, that's really impressive. Um, they've been, I mean, they taking advantage of kind of the Seahawks is playing kind of mediocre football. The
Mhm.
Rams obviously made the big trade, so they're trying to stay heads and above everybody else. But the Cardinals is kind of stuck right there and just been consistent. I mean, um, yeah, I didn't see this kind of coming together, not knowing where Fitzgerald was coming back or not. I didn't see this kind of consistency from the multiple running backs that they have every game. I mean, he's a red zone guy. He's put inside the red zone and makes plays inside the red zone. You've never seen Connor. He had a big run the other day. I think he caught a screen pass, but you don't see him going downfield very often. Um, he's not catching the ball over the 50, if you will, very often. Most of his plays are done inside that 30-35 yard range, and he makes plays with inside that, which is impressive. Excuse me, nothing wrong with that. But I'm just saying that's about his limit, and he's still. I'm kind of upset because he keeps stealing points from Chase Edmonds, also, who just got injured. But the Cardinals are playing good football, by the way. Um, You got anything to add? I was surprised you were so complimentary of the team with inside your division already.
No, I mean, again, I mean, how do you do that? That's amazing to beat a division foe like that without your all of your arsenal. So kudos to them for being able to do so.
Um, Odell Beckham was hit the waiver wire, as we know by now. Everybody's either seen or heard about the video that his pops kind of liked and shared, I guess, Instagram with all the mistakes and incomplete passes that was thrown to him by Baker Mayfield, and I guess that was the final straw, man. Number one, what do you think about the parents or family getting involved into the situation? We talked about one earlier, but for the most cases, what do you think about families getting involved in the players kind of professionalize, if you will? And then, I mean, this is going to be talked about for a long time, but we might as well get the conversation started. Was this Baker situation or Odell? Like Odell, excuse me. Um, had, so I know it's kind of a two-part question. Um, the first part, what do you think about the separation in the family kind of being the cause of the separation? Because not everything was cool before, but they obviously he didn't waive him before. So the video came out on Thursday. They turn around and waive him, say you don't have to come to practice, excuse them from practice, etc. They go out and have a big game on Sunday. Like, how do you think his that situation played a part of his Browns career? And then what's the best option for him?
Well, I think regards to a tolerance factor for these type of things, I think I have a little bit more tolerance if um, the parent in question has actually played in the league that their child is having these issues with. I mean, we saw Archie Manning interject himself into the whole thing, and it's like, hey, Eli's not going to San Diego, so
Well,
sorry.
no, you can't compare
You know what I'm
Odell
saying?
Beckham Sr. to
I'm
to
just saying.
to
So
Manning.
you're not
Come
hearing me out here. You're not
come
hearing me
on,
out
man.
here.
I mean, you already started off on the bad foot
You've
right
heard
there.
some of Michael Thompson's comments about Clay Thompson. You've heard some of these other parents get involved in their children's athletic situation, but they have a little bit more clout and say with regards to kind of how things are going, and they've been through the process. The Odell Beckham thing, not so much, man. I didn't really care for it too much. It just sounded like, hey, man, throw the ball to my son more, throw it
Right. Yeah.
better, and so he'll be better, so he'll get the numbers that and he get the accolades and the attention that he wants and deserves, and then don't feel too cool about that, man. As far as the best fit for him, that depends on what it is that his level of expectation is. If he expects to be like the guy like he was at, with the Giants, and all the passes are coming to him, and he's the integral part of the offense, and he's why the passing game is so successful. Man, yeah, no, those days are gone. So
They're done already. Already,
yeah,
they're done.
they're done.
Now, Cleveland, this is the first I heard you even breathe this type of language, because you've been a Beckham fan, come in the league. I told you somebody years ago. I told you his partner was better. I do believe I told you that years ago, right? Um, Obviously, availability has something to do with that. But you're saying he's done after 6 seasons in the league, bro?
Yeah,
Or excuse me.
he's done being the focal point of anyone's passing offense. He can be
This
a
is
2, 3, or 4. He
this
cannot
is
be the focal point of your passing offense.
this is 8 years. 8 years actually. He's gone from he got 133 his first year with Cleveland. What's been up the last couple of years? I mean, excuse me. I said I take that back. He was targeted 133. He caught 74 balls for 1,000 yards.
Sounds better. Yeah. Yeah, injury opportunities, this and that, but
He
yeah,
played
man,
13 games.
that's not
He
where we're
played
at
13
right
games.
now. We're talking about the here and the now, and what he needs to do and where he needs to go to resurrect his career. There's only a certain level of resurrection that there's going to be. So if he's still coming in like he's ODB catching Spider-Man balls, yeah, that's over, man.
Wow, that's incredible to see. And I know that's your guy too. That must hurt you.
It didn't hurt that bad. I mean, he's had plenty of opportunity to make good on his talent, and he just hasn't. So that's what happens in the NFL sometimes. You get exposed.
So you agree now that Jarvis Landry is a better wide receiver than?
No, not really. I saw Jarvis
No,
last game. He looked
what do you
horrible,
mean? No, not
and he
really.
always looks
So
horrible.
is that a Baker Mayfield thing? Is Baker
No,
Mayfield? Are my eyes that blind that if
Baker
Baker
Mayfield
Mayfield?
doesn't make Jarvis Landry fumble the football. No, I'm not a Jarvis Landry guy. You know that. So don't even try and pull me in that argument.
No, okay. Uh, is it Baker Mayfield or Odell Beckham? Was it Baker Mayfield? I mean, I always thought Jarvis. I mean, it's not even a conversation. You already know how I felt about Jarvis and why the Dolphins, for whatever reasons, decided he wasn't good enough for their team. I don't understand. Again, you try to trick me, Cleveland. I'm not going for it right now. Okay, I'm on alert right now.
Yeah, because I don't even want to talk about Minka Fitzpatrick. So I want to talk about Minka Fitzpatrick.
Oh my goodness gracious! You ain't no good, man. You ain't no good for that one.
Culture.
and
It's all about culture.
and they played the other night too. I man, you didn't see it. That's why I text you. He hit what's his name, the quarterback for the Bears. Thought
Justin
he was
Fields.
thought he was running out of bounds, and this is going to be an ordinary just jaunt out of bounds for pickup for 7 yards. Mika let him know as long as you still in bounds, buddy, as big as you are, you about to take a shot right to the ribs, buddy. And the thing I love about Mika is his tackles are on his hits. Not a lot of guys wrap up, but Mika hits you where you're supposed to be hit. It's not way too high where the guy can duck under you. Oh, he's not hitting at the knees where the guy steps out of tackle. He's hitting you all up in your thighs, ribs, chest area, and he's hitting you hard. I don't know why a team doesn't want a guy like this. I don't know why.
Culture philosophy.
I don't. What culture? He is the culture. What culture else? What other culture in NFL football do you want?
He wasn't fitting into the
No,
Dolphins.
because he didn't want to lose.
Florey's culture.
He's not buying. You're right. He's not buying into tanking for somebody coming out of college who nobody knows anything about.
Belichick disciple way of doing things. It just didn't fit.
Man, Belichick is up in the northeast. You want to do that shit up? You go back up there. Just like your boy, it might be time for him to run back under the nest a little bit and get some pats on the back and some more education and try it again in the next cycle.
Is he going back with Patricia?
He's
McDaniels and Haley?
Patricia, Haley,
McDaniel, Flores, they putting the band back together up there?
Sending them back up there. Goodbye. Because you're the defense coordinator. You weren't doing shit anyway. Stop it. Just stop it. Vrabel
is the only one that can like truly break out and be like, I'm my own man.
Boom. Vrabel said, I had enough of this shit. I'm gonna go do my own thing. Yes, exactly right. And be confident about it. Even if they haven't been dominant.
Bill O'Brien. Bill O'Brien gonna come back too.
I don't care who goes back up there. I'm just saying, if you can't, you already know there's been few guys to come out of that branch who've been successful, and you just named them. Mike Vrabel has been the best guy, and his team is better than you expect. That's what they've been. Better than, for whatever reason, he goes to pick up number 17 and pair him with your boy King Henry before the injury, and it's been unison up there for the last 4 years. It's been, or last 3 years, whatever it's been. But you start talking about Mika Fitzpatrick, and you wrong for that. You wrong for that. You are wrong for that one. Because again, I text you.
Part of the culture wasn't fitting in.
Look.
Wasn't fitting in what they wanted to do.
Look, I think it was third down that he on second down. Excuse me. This is second quarter. This is a Chicago ball. Chicago has the ball there. They're down 14. On this series, coming out of them being down 14 points now, it was a second. They were on their 30 on second down. Dude steps back and he throws it to his receiver over the middle, and it was a ball that the receiver should have caught because they got number 39 coming from everywhere. He doesn't know where this dude's looking. He's turning his head and he doesn't catch the ball, but still got knocked the fuck out by Mika Fitzpatrick, who's just sending a message to these guys. Look, you might as well catch the ball, you're going to get hit. That's number one. Number two, if you catch the ball, you're going to get punished right here just for catching the ball. It would have been about a 7-yard route, but he just got blasted. That receiver didn't want to go over the middle again for the rest of the night. Then he catches the Fields on the sideline on the boundary. He's trying to run for the third down or for the first down on third down. He doesn't get it because Mika just gives it all to him. It was just on those two. Those were just tempo-changing, game-changing plays. And you can't coach that? You got a problem with him leading your defense? Are you kidding me?
He wasn't buying into the culture
Man,
change and what
man.
they wanted their
What
players to represent and how they wanted them to represent the
they don't
Dolphins
they
on
don't
the
want
field.
hitting. They don't want hitting. They don't want intimidation. They don't want a guy. The culture itself. Guys, a playmaker. We already know once he did, he went and picked up five. I think he picked up 4 passes with the Dolphins. That year he was traded. He went and picked up 5 more in the next 5 weeks, number one, and ended up leading the league in interceptions and making a Pro Bowl. That's the guy you trade? Are you kidding me? Because he doesn't
Perhaps
buy into
he
you
didn't
need
understand.
coach GM, you need to change your culture to what he says. He's the culture. Are you kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me? That's unbelievable. That's unbelievable. Cleveland, you're not right. I'm not listening to you no more. We banned this just from discussion 2 weeks ago, and here you keep bringing this. You keep bringing this up. They're not in the script, folks. They are not in the script. I'm refusing to even mention their name right now because they got to win. I don't even count that win. That didn't even count. That didn't even count on what they did last week. So we talking about Odell or Beckham, and I was telling you why Jarvis is the best, and then you wouldn't have to bring up. I don't know even how Minka Fitzpatrick fit in the conversation.
I didn't remember how it happened.
Y'all even know.
I remember how it happened.
What's up with
Culture.
KC? What's up with KC? I mean,
Oh,
there's
man.
some culture right there. I mean, what's going on? Are they still struggling, or they got a win the other day? Did that boost their confidence or something? What's the deal?
Oh, they are most definitely still in shambles, man. They're just not really bringing it to what it is that they're capable of doing.
So, do they just get fat and lazy, or are they just one step behind? I mean, are
I
teams just are teams coming for them? Like,
I think it's more scheme than anything,
okay,
and that everyone is kind of
coming for
caught
them
up
right
to
now.
them, and they just don't have that same type of explosion that they once had, and they just don't. They're not taking teams. Teams are not
Surprised in awe by them anymore.
surprised. No.
So you got about 3 years, man. Is that what you're saying? The run is over. You got about 3 years. I mean, because we all know Mahomes is going to be a damn good quarterback for years to come. But what?
I mean, yeah. I mean, they've invested that much into him that
I mean, we got Tyreek Hill, or is that run between these guys? Tyreek Hill, Kelsey. I mean, are you talking about? You're not talking about done, are you? Talking about this 3-year run is over?
I mean, I've had some thoughts about this, Cam, and I think that talent-wise, on the offensive side of the ball, absolutely, they're still who they are supposed to be, but their execution has not been what it's been in the past, and I think it's teams have seen a few too, a few too many times, and they're kind of understanding what's going on.
So okay, is this on Andy Reeves? Andy Reid? Is it? I mean, is this not evolving?
No, it's not
Or
on Andy Reid. I mean, we've seen Andy Reid have that type of solid success for a good block of time, wherein it's like, yeah. I mean, we've seen
right?
Andy
We've
Reid go
seen
to
that,
Super Bowl
yeah.
4 consecutive years, right? I mean, the NFC Championship, 4 consecutive years, right? So that what he does is successful, and if he has the right personnel to do certain things, then absolutely.
So you saying they don't have the right personnel? We're just trying to dig deep and find out what's going on with the Kansas City Chiefs, because they haven't been able to create a running game, a consistent running games. Your law firm, he lasted 11 games, I guess, before he got hurt. His rookie year was done. So that really hurt. Bell obviously hasn't been able to contribute a lot, but Mahomes to Hill, Mahomes to Kelsey. Are you saying this run is over, Cleveland?
I'm saying that the league has figured them out to a certain extent, and it's their opportunity to make the adjustment. And if they don't, then they're going to be kind of this team that, wow, they were very exciting and explosive when they were healthy and had opportunities, but
I mean, it's the
after they had
cycle
a
of
chance to
NFL
figure
though.
them out.
It is. It's kind of the cycle of the NFL. I mean, the greatest show on turf. I mean,
Very similar.
they had a great couple of years. Teams are trying to prolong it. I mean, kudos to the Rams, that same Rams team actually, for doing what they're doing by moving the chips all to the middle, right? Um, are you okay with Rodgers being fined? Or I mean, this fine was kind of BS, man. It was.
No, I'm perfectly okay with Rodgers being fined, man. I thought he should have been fined more, man. Don't be all obsequious and like vague about what it is that you're doing, man. You say, "Oh yeah, I've been immunized," and you know that when you say it, that people are going to take um, uh, the opinion that that means that you're been vaccinated because you're saying words that are kind of similar, and you're kind of being you know untruthful about everything. So yeah, and the risk that you're yeah extremely irresponsible on his part. So I thought the fine should have been higher.
Um, yeah, I agree with you. I think the fine should have been more. But now we just got to wonder about They're fining him because he went to the costume party, and not necessarily him being unvaccinated. But apparently, it was already known that he was unvaccinated.
Yeah, unvaccinated, then going to places where you're not masked up. I mean, and then you're going back to an organization that's a professional football team. Look how many people. I mean, just do the math.
Yeah, it could be a costly mistake here, downturn actually. Uh, I'm okay with the fine. I think it should have been more. And but we already know there's just some already players in the NFL that's not vaccinated. It's going to be interesting to see how they get dealt with if they're looking at more scrutiny. Um, and it kind of leads to another question I have that I ask you later. I'll get you the answer later. Is do you think there should be a league mandate to get vaccinated, like in most states, or you have to have, or some states anyway, you have to have. If you're a state employee or employee of any kind, actually, I think you have to be vaccinated. Um, I know they have teams in all states, but do you think this should be a legal mandate? Well, we'll get to that conversation a little later. But Desean Jackson, I mean, he signs with the Raiders for all I know. What do you think about that pickup? And do you think you think he's going to get his 10 games in here?
Certainly couldn't hurt, and he certainly has a legitimate chance to do so, given the fact that they certainly need that deep threat that they're going to be missing now that Henry Ruggs III is not going to be part of the equation.
Yeah, that's tough to Henry Ruggs, man. But yeah, he signed with the Raiders. I mean, he's available on your fantasy squad. You want to go pick him up because he's going to be there to kind of fill that void as you're talking about as Ruggs is left for him. And we'll see. I mean, he's going to be available. Let's see if he gets his games in. And if he gets his games in, I think I should be due for dinner or something. Jeez, I'll do dinner.
I think it's Happy Meal on that, but
Although everything I've committed to, but that's okay. Um,
Mhm.
um, we'll see if he gets a couple games, and we can talk about that. Love, what do you think about Love's performance against the Chiefs? I mean, I said for 3 quarters he didn't score anything. So is that? I don't know if you saw any of that,
No,
but
kind of what we expected. I mean, kind of what I expected. I didn't expect him to get out there and have a Justin Herbert type debut. I thought he would be, fairly routine, somewhat mediocre. I mean, he would be seeing things for the first time in, real life speed, and it's a little bit faster. It's not quite like you do it in practice. It's not quite like the film that you're looking at, and those people are really actually coming to tackle you. So you react differently, and I thought his performance was to be expected, but you know he got a chance to kind of see what it was. He won't get another chance this season, and then next season be all his.
Wow, that's what the Packers fans are looking forward to. Man, maybe he gets a chance now to get it out from under him, get it off of the belt now. But we'll see how that handles. Well, it looks like Sierra said Russell can go play on Sunday.
No, she didn't say that.
You
The
sure?
physicians said that with regards to the way his finger healed, which is a
Oh,
testament to how durable and remarkable his healing process is. Had actually nothing to do with Sierra.
oh, I thought Sierra was the one pulling the triggers up there.
No, yeah, no, yeah. She's not a doctor.
Oh. So he misses 3 games. This talk about giving you guys a preview of what's going on next season. Do you see this as a preview going on next season? The kind of life without Russell,
No.
or you didn't even look at it like that?
Mm-mm.
So you think you expect Russell to come back there next year?
Cam, we're in the eighth game of the season of the 2021 season. I don't think that far ahead. There's way too many things that can go on between
Uh-huh.
now and then for me to be predicting
Uh-huh.
something like that. I mean, I know how you're feeling, given the fact that your Dolphin quarterback situation
See,
has not
see,
been
see.
solid since number 13 was under the helm in
Did we ban those guys on the
1999.
show?
So I'm just saying, I understand why a little bit of glee in your voice when even the thought of not having a stable quarterback. But yeah, no, it's a little too early and a little too premature to have those kind of conversations right now.
You don't have to get sensitive on me, man. I
No,
know
not really. No, not really.
the fans know when you get a little extra uptight because the questioning might be a little torse. But look, that's a legitimate question. I mean, I don't know
It's
what you
not a
guys.
legitimate question in week 8 of the 2021 season. I mean, we'll talk about that after the season's over.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, I'll remind you about that.
I'm sure you will, and I'll remind you as to that quarterback situation down there in the 305 as well.
So speaking about life with King Henry and that former quarterback for the 305, what do you expect from your guy now? What do you expect from your guy now after they got that lucky win the other night? What are you expecting him going now moving forward to look like without King Henry?
Hard to say. I mean, it's the most devastating offensive weapon in the NFL this season. So to lose that is obviously catastrophic.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We'll see what Adrian Peterson has left in the tank, as we all know, a Hall of
Oh,
Fame
oh,
running back with
oh.
a tremendous pedigree. If he can continue to do what he's doing and kind of you know continue to drink from the fountain of youth and just be the Adrian of old, I mean, they have a chance to do some great things.
You saw that game. So you saw that game the other night. You saw Adrian Peterson had left in the tank. Don't act like you didn't see that. Don't act like you didn't. You didn't see him moving nowhere.
That was his first game in what was it, 37 months or something like that. It was something ridiculous. He hadn't played in quite some time. 48 months, 92 months. It was something. It was something
I don't
wild. It
know
was a
what it
long
was.
time ago that he had
Mm.
played. He had played in his last NFL game. So the mere fact that he get out there and still take those hits and still break away and show that breakaway speed. I mean, it was something to behold.
Okay. Well, this week was there a better win for talking about the Titans beating the Rams? Um, was that the best win on the board, or was it Cardinals with the beating the Niners over injuries, or was it Chargers kind of solidifying themselves on top? What was a better win this week?
The best win was Jacksonville Jaguars over the Buffalo Bills. That's the best win.
Well, I had that under a different Cardinal category. I had that under the worst loss for the Bills to lose to those guys. I mean, I had that under a completely different category. So follow the script if you would. Was the Titans the best win? The Niners over the injured Niners, um, injured Cardinals over the Niners, or the Chargers solidifying their spot on top of the AFC West?
The Cardinals.
Okay, Cardinals could win. And then, like I said, I had the Bills losing to the Jags as the number one loss of the weekend there. Cowboys losing to Broncos couldn't have been far behind. And then the Saints kind of, doing what they expected to do over the Falcons lose, I guess. Um, Which one was the biggest loss there? The Jags over the Bills.
I would say the Jags over the Bills. Yeah, that they had their full repertoire out there. Three field goals is all that, or excuse me, two field goals is all they can manage. Yeah, that was embarrassing.
Hmm. No, no. Do you expect Teddy to carve up the Cowboys like that? Have them down 30-0 at one point.
No, I didn't expect anything even remotely like that, especially with Dak coming back out. I also didn't expect the fan enthusiasm, man. Denver came deep to Jerry Land, man. They were like, whoa. It
Yeah.
almost seemed like a home game for the Broncos. I was a little bit stunned by that.
Mm, okay. So looking at this week, Cleveland, this was a bad week for us all, man. A bad week overall. We both this is a we're at 50%. This is a both, and I'll go through the games that we kind of disagreed on. Obviously, the Texans beat the Dolphins. They're now 1-7, 2-7 Dolphins. They lost to them. The Texans did that rather. Um, we both had Indy over the Colts. I had the Browns over the Bengals. Um, and as we know, Baker went off there, had a good day, and kind of showed why he's a better quarterback than receiver for that team. And that'll continue to be a question. Kind of was that Baker Mayfield or Dak Prescott? And Cleveland refused to give me an answer on that one. Was it Baker or Dak? And I like Baker, and he showed that he can play the game. What's your thoughts on that? Why'd you have Bengals winning? And then what do you think about Cleveland's performance?
I had the Bengals winning because the Burrow to paper chase combination is pretty devastating. They got a great tight end, good running game. So the fact that Baker, after all of this controversy with ODB, was able to shake that off, throw to T Higgins, Peoples Jones Drew, receivers that are really talented on his team that he has, and kind of make the most of that. Get the most out of Nick Chubb's game. So that's how I feel about that. As
Yeah,
far as
Nick.
Dak, I was a little bit shocked that he was, until the last 5 minutes of the game, not able to throw any touchdowns. So that was weird.
Yeah. They look like the Bengals or Broncos, excuse me, kind of bundled them up there. We both had New Orleans winning that game. I mean, excuse me, we both had Dallas winning that game, and then we both had New Orleans beating the Falcons. And the Falcons kind of again came to play every couple of weeks. I guess they come to play. I had the Raiders beating the Giants. The Giants ended up beating the Raiders. Um, think that was, if I remember correctly, I think that was a kind of surprise to us all. Although Cleveland had that pick, why do you have the Giants over the Raiders?
I just thought that the first week of them getting kind of past everything was kind of an apparition, and they would have kind of a lull as far as there's just too much
Going
turmoil
on,
over there in
too
Vegas.
much
I
is
mean,
going
they're
on.
losing
Yeah,
cornerbacks, they're losing receivers, losing coaches. That's just a little bit too much to do.
got you. Okay. Um, we both had New England over the Panthers. Jaguars. Urban Meyer wins the second game over the arguably one of the better teams in the division or the conference, I should say. Jaguars beat the Bills. Um, I mean, again, hold them to talk about two field goals, keeping them out the end zone. Right there, kept them to two field goals. They won the game 9-6. I mean, that's a tough game, tough way to win.
Yeah, the Bills should be embarrassed, man, that they were only able to score 6 points on the Jacksonville Jaguars. When I saw Seattle Seahawks team, which was ranked in the top three in the bottom of the NFL as far as points per game, put 31 on them. Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah,
You
man.
should be ashamed.
Another team. So it's a surprise weekend right there that they kind of had that performance against the Jacksonville Jaguars. But then we see the Ravens win again, the Chargers win again. KC took one on the chin against the Chiefs, who
The
I
KCB Packers, but it didn't look good.
yeah, for KC, let me change that on the spreadsheet. So KC beat the Packers with who had the backup quarterback Love, who couldn't do anything. Arizona gets another W, as we knew. The Rams, we had the Rams over Tannehill, and they come through with a big win. What you think about those guys?
Again, like we were saying before, Adrian Peterson came through, gave him a solid, running attack, and Ryan Tannehill knows this offense really, really well. He feels really
Oh
comfortable in it
my
right now.
goodness!
He's
Oh
got
my
some
goodness
weapons like
gracious! Shame on
AJ
you.
Brown and Julio Jones. A good catching tight end. I mean, they could do some things. We'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine what the Miami Dolphins could do if they still had Ryan Tannehill at the helm
No. Well, that
instead
was.
instead of Tua Tagovailoa. I don't know.
Uh, oh my goodness! You keep trying that. You keep trying that. You keep trying it, don't you?
I'm just. We were talking about the game and the players involved in that particular game, and I just happened to remember Ryan Tannehill used to play for the Miami Dolphins. That's all.
Yeah, keep your hope up in Ryan Tannehill. Let's see how he does without King Henry in the backfield.
Well, I mean,
Let's just get.
he's been in the playoffs, 4 consecutive years since leaving that other organization. So
Mm. So for the week, again, it was a bad week. 14 games this week. We is actually, I got to credit or just credit fix the spreadsheet. So instead of it was 57% that we were instead of 50% this week. Um, Picks against the spread. I got three of mine correct. You got two of yours correct. We both had Houston +6. We both had Arizona Arizona -1. I think it was right. We both had Arizona against the spread. It was
so then,
Arizona
how did you
against
go
the
three
spread.
for three? Because Houston did not cover.
Houston did two cover. I had Houston +6. Houston did not cover. What was that score of that game? It was 16. It was 16, 17 to 16, wasn't it? Excuse me. No, so it's 16 to 10, 16 to 9, something like that.
Continue with your blasphemy. What were the others? What were the other
Oh yeah,
scores?
shit, you're right. It was 17 to damn, it was 17 to 10. So the Dolphins win and I lose on the Houston doesn't cover. Oh, that's terrible. Um,
So you'll make that correction going
yeah,
forward.
I'll make that correction right now.
Okay, cool.
Cleveland +3. They did cover. And then you had LAC -1.5. Um, so Houston didn't cover. There you go. I gave myself an extra point. There you go. That was corrected.
Wow,
Um,
I'm gonna check on you real quick, Playboy. Hold
yeah.
up, hold up, man. My forensic. I'm sorry, my forensic accountants. They just hit me up and said, "Man, can you just double check what Cam is talking about real quick?" I mean, they're usually not like this, but every once in a while, they're like, "That just doesn't seem right." And
Oh, you
so,
got them listening on the call? Are they trying? Are they
yeah,
one?
yeah. Okay, so Cleveland, you're right. Okay, yeah. Texans, no. I'm sorry. What was your third game, Cam?
Arizona -1.
Okay, so you're 2 for 3. Yeah. You're 2 for 3. Okay,
Thank you, sir. Thanks for correcting me.
okay.
Nonetheless, I'm still winning in that. The picks overall is actually tied up at 62% overall.
Hmm.
Um,
So you're not winning.
Not in the
Okay.
picks against the spread though. No, you're winning that category. I am winning in the category of confidence picks. This was a terrible week. This is the worst week of the season. Um, I got I had Indy and KC. I lost Dallas, Buffalo, and the Rams. You had KC. You had KC and Indy, the same teams. I just gave Indy 1 point for winning, and you and KC 2 points for winning. So actually, that's 3 points that I made that out last week. and you gave KC 2 points and Indy 4 points for winning. But Buffalo, the Rams, and the Cardinals, that should be an extra win for you. So what am I doing?
See, yeah, again, see, fans, you see when my alarm goes off when my forensic accountants they hear that weird stuff going on. Like, what are you talking about?
So you had the Cardinals, so you get that's an extra point for you. It doesn't bring you really closer though for to me for the season because it's been nothing but dominance on this side of town, and you already know that. Um, just getting this correct. Me and Strictly want to get those points on the official spreadsheet, and you got your points there. All right, settle down now, but it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, and I'll tell you why. It has little to do with the grand scheme of things, and here I'll tell you why in a second. Because Cleveland, you're really in this category. It's 79% to 83%. That 83% just came down from 90 in the 90s. Okay, so I'm about to prop that back up because you haven't been this close to me in the picks against the spread or the confident picks all season. So that's in the lead I'm gonna have to extend right now. So give yourself a pat on the back for that.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, you're within striking range with 10 weeks left. Cool.
I am. I mean, for somebody that actually made decent picks, I'd be in striking range. But for you, no, I don't think so. I don't think I'm in your striking range. I got places to go, people to see, things to do. You know what I mean? All right, Cleveland. Let's take a little break here. When we come back, obviously we're going to talk about this week in history. But we got some NBA topics to talk about. Obviously, everybody saw the shoulder slam that Jokic gave his brothers. Gave the Morse. It felt like his brothers, but it gave the Morse Markeith, I think it was. We're going to talk about the Miami Heat on their West Coast wing, and we're have a Chris Paul conversation here shortly. So let's take a little break here, Cleveland. When we come back, man, we're gonna have get into the NBA conversation and see what your thoughts are on week was this 2 or 3 of the NBA. And next week, fans, we're gonna have our first NBA supremacy rankings. So stay tuned. Make sure you check in for that, Cleveland. Let's take a little break here, and when we come back, we're gonna have an NBA conversation. Okay.
Sounds good. Gonna take a quick 45 here.
Okay. You ready to go?
Ready to go.
All right, fans. Thank you guys for sticking with us during the break. I appreciate that. Cleveland. First of all, we got one NBA banner that we want to revisit. You want to go back on that one? What's your thoughts on that one right there?
Early on, licks in jeopardy, Cam. Not gonna lie to you. I don't see a lot of team cohesion. Dealing with some injuries, and they look old.
They look old. That's it.
That is my analysis after the first 10 games. Yeah.
What do you think about Russell Wilson or Russell Westbrook?
I think Russell Westbrook is, a former MVP of the NBA, a walking triple double. As a matter of fact, the most in the history of the NBA. So, you know, that's what I think about him.
So, so he's good. Nothing to be concerned about their start. You're good.
No,
You're happy with
it's
him.
it's it. I wouldn't say happy. I wouldn't say that's the word I would use. I would say that he's trying to find his way within the Laker organization. It takes a minute sometimes, but given his pedigree, I think that he'll fall into place.
Okay. What do you think about these Golden State Warriors and what they're doing to the league right now?
Yeah,
This
not
early.
bad. They're all right.
I don't listen to them. They're all right. Listen to them. And that's short analysis. We already talked about earlier with Joker, and was clearly that was I mean, he got cheap shotted, and then he cheap shotted Morris. So I mean, it was like one for one when it all washes out, right?
Well, Cam, unlike yourself, I used to watch NBA basketball in the 80s and early 90s.
Mm-hmm.
So, that type of altercation really was somewhat commonplace. And certainly once the playoffs started, um, a team that I used to watch a lot, the Detroit Pistons, a team called the Bad Boys, used to be a lot more physical than that. And so, that was just kind of par for the course. If somebody pushes you, well, you just push them in the back harder than they push you because they're smaller, and then they fall down, and that's kind of the end of that. They don't push you in the back anymore, and it's escalated this whole other thing. Trying to be politically correct, whatnot, what have you. Of course, being a fan of the NBA for as long as I have, I found it very refreshing, to be quite honest with you.
Kind of refreshing. You sound like I sound when we talk about eliminating the targeting rules in the NFL or in college football. Um, well, I whether you believe it or not, actually recognize it or not, I did watch those same Detroit Pistons, and I do understand the level of physicality that they brought to their basketball court each and every time they played. Guys like the greatest ever, the greatest of all time, Michael Jordan. I mean, they essentially kind of built him because once Michael Jordan got past the Detroit Pistons, he couldn't be beat because nobody had enough for him. So that tells you how the level of dominance that they had over the NBA for those couple of years in the league. So it was a good shot, 1 for 1. That's why I said 1 for 1. Technical foul for them both, and then let's keep the game moving. They didn't need to. They didn't need to. We don't know how bad Morris is hurt, but Morris act like he got shot in the neck and his back. um, so we don't know how Morris hurt, but that's how he responded, and they actually brought out the stretcher, but he didn't use it. So um, it would say makes me think that he's in better shape than anybody may have suspected. He's been better shape than 15 minutes laid there on the court. I'll put it like that. So we'll see what happens next time they meet. Um, but right now, the Lakers are dealing with this Miami Heat West Coast swing, What do you think about your Los Angeles Lakers? And I kind of asked you about Westbrook. You refused to kind of give me any commitment or how what you thought his growth spurt might be, how he's doing with your team. You just kind of said he's a. You gave me his accolades and like he'd be okay, but him and Carmelo, former OKC tandem, now rocking with the Lakers. What do you? Everything good with you guys?
Work in progress, Cam. I can't say that I'm completely 100% impressed and, you know, have complete 100% peace of mind. There's some work to do here. And, I think Frank Vogel needs to understand that,
Uh oh.
his job's in jeopardy if they
Uh
doesn't,
oh.
you know, kind of right the ship here. And Kent Bazemore, not a fan so far. So
He said his job is in jeopardy if he doesn't right the ship. So, are you talking about by halftime you're getting rid of? You're trying to get rid of by what is it? All Star Weekend. You're trying to get rid of the coach.
well, I mean, we'll see what
You're,
the record indicates. How the team's playing,
oh my goodness gracious!
cohesion, the chemistry.
You've been actually been talking about this. You get don't you know? I just had the conversation with the great Frank Vogel over the summer,
Yeah, it
and
was a great conversation. It was inspirational and all that. But yeah, it's a results business, especially in LA. At least on the Lakers side of the Staples Center, it's a results oriented business. So
wow, you guys have been talking about redoing Frank. You don't like it's going that bad for your players that you brought in here. This is a players team. How this is a players team, right? So now that Frank Vogel just led you to a championship 2 years ago.
that's right.
Now all of a sudden you can't use him now.
I just said he needs to be cognizant of what's going on here. His job is not as secure as he thinks.
My goodness, these Laker fans are. I mean, I don't know what do you think with the um old guy who was out of the league less than 2 years ago. You think because he has a couple big games, you guys are supposed to be in playoff contention, or you what? You get supposed to be among the tops in the West.
Well,
You,
certainly,
you
six and
got one
five is
guy
not
who
going to get it done. Two losses to the Oklahoma City Thunder in dramatic fashion both times. Yeah, no, not a good feeling.
yeah, and that's because that's because your superstar appears to be now he's having these muscle injuries. So this might be the start of the breakdown.
Might be,
And
might be.
where you just see minor injuries that just lead to every just kind of lingering stuff now. So how you guys, Carmelo and Anthony Davis can't get it figured out, and they got Russell Westbrook, and you're the first thing you turn to is the head coach. Can the head coach drive the Ferrari? Is that what you thinking?
Yeah,
Can
yeah. I mean, he needs to figure out a way to make all these pieces work and bring the team to fruition.
but how does his name come up when he just led you to a championship 2 years ago? 2 seasons ago in the bubble,
Because the level
the
of
most difficult
expectation is
time.
a championship,
I brought you
and
one.
it
You have
is
one.
his
You have one on your desk right there.
great. But that's not what we do here. What we do in Laker Nation is win multiple championships, and certainly when the talent has been upgraded, the level of expectation is to win
But
more.
has the talent been upgraded?
Sure.
Is is
I do
KCP?
think that Russell Westbrook is an upgrade over Dennis Schroeder. I do think that Carmelo Anthony does bring something to their bench. I think that once Trevor Ariza is healthy, that yeah, he can contribute. I do think that DeAndre Jordan is bringing a little bit more than what Gasol was bringing last year.
So you comfortable with you feel this squad have been upgraded? Okay, all right. This is a Laker fan. 8 games into 11 games now into the season, saying that they're already calling for the coach's head. Said
I didn't say calling for the coach's head, Cam. I said he just needs to be cognizant of what's going on out here,
they're monitoring his production.
monitoring his production.
Oh my goodness gracious! A guy who just won if a guy who just won you a championship, if you can't be satisfied in that, you should be still at the club after winning that championship? Because you guys didn't see one on a consistent basis before then.
Okay, well, they won 2 years ago. They have a team that's better than the team that won 2 years ago. Let's see what we can do here.
The NBA is also a little bit better too. And your guy, I don't know if you're better because your guy is 2 years older. And again, this might be the sign of some muscle issues that we have going on here. So let's not get too concerned about. I mean, let's not get too carried away. Is Dame Lillard trying to play his way out of Portland? Because he's been
No, I mean, if he wanted his way out of Portland, he sort of said, "Hey, I want out of here." Man, I've done enough for this franchise and this organization to, acquiesce my request, and they would have done so. So he's been very adamant that he wants to be a trailblazer. So I don't think this is some type of sabotage on his part to play his way out of Portland. He could have done that in numerous different ways.
mm-hmm. Should Brooklyn be concerned yet?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, not so fast, my friend. Kevin Durant is still who he play for?
He plays for the Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah, right now they're 8-4, man. They're a game out of first place. I mean, you expect Washington to be leading the Eastern Conference?
Not sure. Maybe addition by subtraction. I don't know.
Chicago Bulls. I mean,
exciting with Ball, Levine, and DeRozan. We'll see what they can do.
I mean, they're in second place right now, above Brooklyn, and the Miami Heat at 7-3. Right now, they're 2 points behind your Los Angeles Lakers as they start the third quarter rather. So right now they're a game behind those guys. So they're right there. I don't think nothing to be concerned about right now. We're good. 8-4 right now. They're good. And again, if they win, they do 8-4 next over the next 10-12 games. They'll be 16-8. That'll be a damn good record at that point. Watch what I tell you. So no, the Brooklyn Nets don't have nothing to be concerned about. But those Los Angeles Lakers, on the other hand, right now they're in seventh place. They're 6-5. They're in the play-in tournament. Is that where you guys expect to finish the season?
No, not at all. Not at all.
All serious business. The play-in tournament. Is that where you guys expect to finish?
Cam probably. As old as they are, probably a 4-5. Probably a 4-5 matchup. Hopefully, they're able to get past that and get to the, second round versus the Utah Jazz as the top seed in the West, and then whoever's left after that. I think that's kind of their map to the championship right now.
Is partnering up with planning for Utah in the second half.
I'm sorry?
Is planning for Utah in the second half. That's your plan?
No. What I said is hopefully they land the 4-5 position. They win that game, and then they'll be playing the top seed, which most likely will be a team like the Utah Jazz.
Oh, I got you. Because you don't believe in the
See where I was going with that?
Yeah, because you don't believe in the Jazz. I got you. I feel
you. I said that the Jazz would probably be the number one seed in the Western
Conference. Yeah, but you don't believe when the playoff comes. You don't believe in them.
Well, I mean,
I see what
they would be meeting them in the second round. I mean, that's best case scenario.
Well, okay, we'll see. I mean, we'll see how things transpire because it's the NBA season just starting up. It's just enough time for you to get excited about it. So they've got a long season to play out, as you already know.
True.
Most impressive team this far in the NBA, though.
Most impressive team will be the Golden State Warriors. They're on fire.
We give it up to Golden State. And wait till Clay comes back. Let's see what he can add to it. But yeah, Jordan Poole has picked up a lot of slack for that team, and he looks legitimate. He looks like he's ready to have a breakout year, and that'll be a big time help for Steph Curry. Would you agree?
absolutely would. I just question their physical presence inside, but you know, if the Splash Brothers are back to being the Splash Brothers, and Draymond is being able to facilitate the way that he has or is capable of, I mean, yeah, they're a formidable threat.
Um, so what do you or excuse me, should the Lakers be concerned yet? I mean, we kind of talked about that team already.
Lakers should absolutely be concerned. They're like a little bit old. They're a little bit slow out of the gate. Um, they're acting like they're playing in May right now, and it's only November. It's like no, you have to do a little bit more to get in shape and have some cohesion. We've seen teams like the Los Angeles Clippers over the last couple of years not have an opportunity to have enough kind of reps within one another, playing together, so they never really are really playing like together because one
Mhm.
person is hurt, one person is load management, one person is just you know not happy with their whatever situation, and they're never all on the court at the same time. And once they do, it's kind of hard for them to kind of get that rhythm to kind of really make that push. So of course you have to worry about the Lakers kind of being in that same situation right now. They haven't really had a chance to really have their best team on the court. They've had some injury issues, and they're still trying to feel themselves out. But I think that once game 45, 50 gets going, I think they'll be a little bit better off.
Did you just compare the Los Angeles Lakers to the Los Angeles Clippers?
No, what I was saying is that
Did you just?
similar
I
to
think I heard.
similar
I
to
think
what
I
the
just
Los
heard that.
Angeles
I think
Clippers
I
are
just heard
going
that.
through.
I think
Yeah.
I just heard that.
Okay, so let me repeat myself. Similar to what the Los Angeles Clippers were going through with regards to not being able to find themselves from a chemistry perspective because they never really actually played together.
Yeah,
It's just kind of
I
like
heard. I
a
heard the
few
little back.
games here and there and just kind of the potential of what they could do. So right now, that's kind of where the Lakers are. But I think there's enough time within the season for them to get past that, so they're actually a cohesive unit and a team
Oh, look
that
at
can
it.
play together and win a championship.
Now he's trying to bang against the Clippers. Listen to you.
I
Well,
certainly am not.
the Clippers won five in a row. The Clippers won
Well,
five in a
great.
row.
That's fantastic. I'm so happy for Mr. Bowman right now.
Oh my goodness gracious.
So happy for Mr. Bowman.
Oh my goodness gracious. Um, what about the Hawks losing five in a row?
They have to kind of find their way. There's a little bit level of expectation this season, adverse last year when they were just kind of like, oh, kind of catching teams off guard. No, they know who Ice Trey is now. They know what he wants to do, and they know their plays. And Capella on the pick and roll. You have to be a little bit better. So it's their time to make that adjustment. Nate needs to make that adjustment and kind of push this team to that next level and see what they can do.
That'll be interesting to see kind of what the. I expect them to be better to see that they lost five straight. It's like, yeah, Nate, let's get it under control. Um, what up with the Celtics, man? Have you seen this? What the Celtics is doing? Like
No,
underachieving. Why are they
no,
underachieving? No answer.
no.
I think they need a point guard. Um,
They need a whole bunch of stuff.
yeah, but they're underachieving big time. Jalen Brown and Tatum, as good
Well,
as they
first off,
are.
you're depending on guys like Jalen Brown and Marcus Smart. I mean, that's a
You don't
tough
like
place to
Jalen Brown?
start.
Jalen Brown is dope.
Is he?
Yeah, I mean, I like what he can do. He rebounds, he gets points, gets buckets. They need a point guard to help distribute the ball for them guys. They don't have
Man,
that.
they've had like 500 point guards. They've had Kyrie Irving. They've had Kemba Walker. They've
Okay.
had all kinds of point guards, man.
Well, Kimber Walker was a little his
Matt
best
Gordon,
is
Hayward. They've had the Morris dude. I mean, they've had all kinds of stuff, man.
those ain't point guards. So but we're seeing that we see when a really good point guard goes to a team is the difference of what's happening in Miami right now. So we can see that. And he's not even a great point guard. He's just a good point guard. We see the impact that a good point guard could have. And speaking of good point guards, Chris Paul moved into third with the assist last week. We didn't talk about it last week, but what's your thoughts on Chris Paul moving to third in assist in the
Yeah, good for
NBA?
him, man. You play a long enough time in a
Oh
an
wow!
NBA that's very free flowing.
Oh
Assists are
wow!
easier to come by. Certainly easier to rack up those kind of numbers.
Oh wow! He went to he brought in the numbers argument on the guy, like right off the bat. Oh, that's crazy that you would just go straight to numbers on CP3. Like you give him no recognition from being one of the top point guards. He's the third all time in assists. Did you hear what I said?
I did. I said that's a easier NBA with which to rack up those type of assist numbers. So that's why he's third all time, and he's played a long time. Not saying that he's been particularly durable, but he has played a long career. So
That sounds like no credit to me. Um, are you ready to make a decision on Ben Simmons?
I don't think there's any decision to be made. I think obviously he needs to be traded. Now, what you are asking for him, that might be a little bit different, and what teams are interested, that's a little bit different. But yeah, obviously he can't come back to Philadelphia and play basketball there. You with me, Big Cam?
Yeah, you wouldn't welcome him back on your team,
No,
the 76ers?
no,
Wow. Not, under no circumstances would you welcome him back. He's gone. He's done. So with that attitude, why don't they just trade him by now?
because they're looking for the right opportunity to do that, and they're not getting equal value back. And the further this goes on, the less opportunity they will have to do so because they don't have any chance to showcase what he's capable of doing. It will just be him, you know, basically digging himself deeper and deeper into a hole, and you know, it's going to play out very ugly.
Kyrie for a boy straight up. Would you do that if you were Philly? Kyrie for Simmons.
No, because Kyrie won't get vaccinated, so he can't play.
He can.
If he could play, yeah, I'd do that.
He could. Well, maybe if he struck an agreement, but he the only states he can't play in is New York and California.
Well, depends on how you feel about your players not being vaccinated. I thought that there was somewhat of a mandate that all the players needed to be vaccinated in order to play in the NBA. I guess it's you know a state law that you can't play in New York or California.
Unless obviously you show your ID, um, saying that you i.e. had a you had the test, the PCR test within 72 days, or you showed your proof of vaccination. But why wouldn't a test be? They have the best doctors around there. Why wouldn't a test be kind of the quicker thing you did and get it over with? Like unless you're not vaccinated.
Well, that's a Kyrie Irving question. That's hard. That's hard to say. It's hard to debate.
Yeah, yeah, that's a crazy one there. Okay, Cleveland. We are your final pick staying the same? I got the Nuggets and the Nets, and you got the Lakers and the Nets. So those picks still the same?
No, I don't think the Nets will be in the championship.
Ooh, you trying to make a change? Who you changing?
Not ready to say who I'm going to change to just yet. Give me another 2 weeks.
Oh my goodness!
It
Look at
won't
this
it
guy.
won't be the Nets though. That was premature. That's when I thought Kyrie Irving was going to be playing.
Mm. Okay, so Kyrie Irving's the king of that squad, is what you're saying.
No, I'm saying that I don't believe they'll get to the championship without him. Is what I'm saying.
Hmm. Okay. Well, let's take a little break here, man. When we come back, we're gonna do this week in history, and then we got Frank Gore and Deron Williams uniting in the ring. We're gonna tell you what for here in a minute, but let's take a little break here, Cleo. When we come back, we got this week in history. You good?
Yeah, man. What's going on with you, man?
I'm good, man. What you talking about?
Like you like doze in and out of like the shows. I'm just like I don't understand.
I'm
What's
with
going on?
you. I'm with you right now, man. I'm with you tonight.
But like a lot of times, like you're not, man, and like you do it like during the middle of the show. Like, there's something I should know, or what's going on, man?
No, we good, man. We are good. You good?
Okay.
This week in history, um, medical school at Howard University opened with 8 students back in 1868. So that was one of the early years. They opened up with 8 students. Granville T. Woods patented the electric railway back in 1891 on November the 10th. The hanging of Nat Turner um, was held on 11/11/1831. He was the leader of the Southampton, Virginia slave revolt. Apparently, he was hung back on this day, or 11/11/1831. And then November 10th, 1996, the greatest quarterback of all time eclipsed the 50,000 yard mark. And that would be Mr. Dan Marino. Did this back in 1996, eclipsed the 50,000 yard mark. And then we had Martina Navratilova tied Chris Everett with 157 career titles on November the 10th, 1991. So a date you might remember because Martina Navratilova she was bad at the time, right?
Yeah, quite a few titles.
Um, should the NFL implement vaccine mandate?
They absolutely should. The players come in more contact with any other players in any other sport. I mean, just because of the physical nature of it, I guess maybe hockey to a certain extent, but they have, you know, not quite the same type of interaction. So I definitely think that there should be a mandate with regards to football players being vaccinated.
Um, I asked this question because like companies or private companies are doing this. Like everybody has to get vaccinated, uh, just so the companies, I guess, feeling that they're doing their part and they're not putting their employees in at risk. So it's kind of curious as to the NFL private group can do the same thing while they aren't doing it, and although I want to listen to the other side, I think in this time of day and age and climate and the environment in the early in society, that is nothing wrong with having a mandate that you have to be um, get vaccinated to work with you or work within a group. Work at the facility, what have you, and that's what each one of these facilities are. They test the players consistently. That's how they find out about the close contact and about having the COVID because they are being tested regularly and consistently. Um, but yeah, I do agree that there should be a mandate for players. Yes, so quite simply as you put. Cleveland, we got Frank Gore and Deron Williams. They're gonna get in the ring and fight in a couple of weeks on the 18th of December. What's your thoughts on this? And who do you got? Who you got winning this one?
Frank Gore.
Darren Williams on the UFC gym.
Frank Gore is from Liberty City.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Frank Gore is from Liberty City, and he played in the NFL for 16, 17 years. Yeah. He's beating up Darren Williams.
Frank Gore, Hall of Famer.
This is the opposite of our other argument. He's never had a really glamorous year, but he's had a whole bunch of really good years as opposed to never having like a spectacular year. So a bunch of really good years with no spectacular years is that the same as having like four spectacular years, but just those four? It's hard. That's a hard one.
What's so hard about it? What's so hard about it? You have one lasting, longing objective, and for most guys who don't accomplish that one objective, I mean, it's not even a question.
It's been a
And
lot of like
it's not even a
10,
question. I don't know what that
11,
was.
10, 11, 10, 11. It's been a lot of those. It's never been like ooh, Frank Gore is killing him. I mean, Frank Gore has always been consistently very good.
I don't understand now all of a sudden why you're trying to detail and tell me about Frank Gore. Like I don't know who Frank Gore is. I had a question for you. Is Frank Gore a Hall of Famer? Yes or no? And I can tell by the way you're bouncing it back and forth.
Question to
It's not that
answer.
difficult. It's not that difficult, really.
I'm not ready to say yes or no just yet, Cam.
You're not. What do you mean? He's been out the league 2-3 years.
I got to think about it a little bit. I got to think about it a little bit
You're gonna have
longer.
to
I got
vote
to
pretty
think about it
soon.
a little bit longer. So
You've
he's
already
not a first. Okay, he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Okay. All right. That's an interesting call right there. Well, we're gonna see what happens with him and Deron Williams here in a couple of weeks. I don't even know what they're going through. But did you see the Caleb Plant versus Canelo Alvarez fight?
Didn't see it. Saw Canelo won as I predicted.
I mean, that wasn't much of a huge
Much of a
prediction.
stretch, yeah. No, not really. Because the fight wasn't much of a stretch, but yeah. But he did win the fight, so good for him.
Okay. We didn't give a chance for you to give your shout out to the Braves for winning the championship.
Shout out to the Atlanta Braves for winning the World Series without your best player, Ronald Acuna Jr. Can't remember when the last time something like that has happened. With him coming back and the roster that you have, if you're able to maintain payroll, wow, big things ahead for you guys.
Did Ronald Acuna used to play for the Mariners?
No.
Well, it seemed like somebody that they would trade away, and let them go get good somebody else somewhere else. You know how they do.
Wow. That was a weird kind of wild attempt at a jab, but
You know how they do.
Yeah. Okay. You didn't have your glasses on when you attempted it. That's why you swung in this. So
listen to him. Are you excited to see King Williams the movie?
King Richard? Yeah,
King,
I think.
Yeah, King Richard Williams. Yeah. Is it King
I
Richard
don't know
or
if
King
I'm
Williams?
excited to see it. I know the story fairly well. I'm a little bit interested in how Will Smith kind of pulls it off.
I know,
as far
right?
as kind of how I kind of see their dad. He doesn't really seem to be like
The Will Smith type of dude.
fitting the role, but we'll see how the movie goes.
Yeah. That. It seemed like he was not the ideal candidate for that character there. But yeah, I mean, most importantly, and I guess with Will Smith actually playing the part, they would have had to have some kind of conversation with the real Richard and Williams and Serena and Venus. So hopefully that adds to the truth of it all. You know what I mean? That adds, kind of makes it make sense, if you will. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, and
as to the validity, I guess is what I'm
I definitely think that Will Smith, by all means, being an accomplished actor, did his research and kind of understands the environment that they came from, and to a certain extent, their dad's personality and trying to capture that, but it's just mannerisms and characteristics, and it's not quite matching up with me. But the storyline in and of itself is a story that certainly needs to be told, and it is quite extraordinary. So looking forward to all of that. But kind of Will Smith being, Serena and Venus Williams' dad is a little a stretch for me, but
yeah,
see what it does.
Yeah, it'll be wild, but kudos to him or them for kind of figuring this out. Excuse me. I think I'm losing power for some reason. Yeah, I'm sorry. We got a short minute. Give me a break. I'm losing power. My computer losing juice for some reason. There we go. All right, now we got juice. We got juice. I'm sorry about that. I was losing it there for a minute. Um, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Will Smith pulled this off. When you see a Will Smith movie nowadays, and it was been like this for years now, it's that in any movie with Denzel, like they don't play like small parts, right? They're not the waiter or the bartender anymore. They're not the valet at the hotel anymore. Like they're playing big time roles, right? And a movie that they're in has a budget, have one of the largest budgets of probably that season, right? So they're going to be playing whether they play actually, and there's no I'm not slighting them at all. Obviously, they've done their work to get to this point, but whether they actually have a good performance or not, that movie's going to turn out pretty good because of the investment in the movie, right? Do you understand what I'm saying?
No, I mean, I do understand what you're saying to a certain extent, and like for that very reason, the mere fact that that person is doing that role makes it somewhat significant, in what it is that they're doing because they're bringing that skill set to that particular role, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just that from a caricature perspective, it just doesn't really seem to mesh or fit.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I mean, that's neither here nor there. Do I think that he can do a job of playing the role of what their father was trying to do? I mean, I think it, for 2 hours,
What,
it can
what
certainly
he,
be a character,
yeah. What he did
that's
actually.
endearing and inspirational and all that, which is what Will is really good at. I
Mm-hmm.
just don't know if the look, the feel, the all of that kind of fits with what Will really is. But
Well, we'll see. We'll see. I think it'll be
Will,
interesting to see.
Will playing, Ali, yeah, okay, yeah, I get that. Kind of looks like kind of, braggadocious, kind of same kind of, personality, mannerisms. I get that. I get that. Some of his more serious roles. Yeah, I get that. But this is an actual person that I just don't know if he fits the
Yeah,
fits the
like
character.
I said before, there are probably better candidates, more typecast for this role, but we'll see how he pulls it off. Um, Going to our picks for this week, man. The Ravens going to trounced the Dolphins. The Falcons, I had them losing to the Cowboys. You agree with me there. We both agree Tennessee is going to win. Indy's going to win. I got Cleveland over the Patriots. I got Cleveland over the Patriots. I think Baker. I like Baker, man. He's kind of a douche in person. Interview. He's kind of being a little prick when I was trying to interview him. But I think he has the skills to be a quarterback, and that's what leads to make this so confusing. Is he can make the outside. He can make the outside pass 12 to 18 yards downfield, that deep out when you need it. He can make that. And he can make it on target. He can make that on target pass going across the middle. He can make the deep pass. Just he can do all of these things. Why doesn't it work? Like why isn't he putting up numbers like your boy out of Buffalo? Not necessarily rushing, but just 350-yard passing games every game. Um, and part of it that was because he didn't have the receiving talent. What do you think?
I think he's just not as good as you're saying he is. He's a great leader. He can make some great throws. He's going to get you, put you in position to win, but he's not going to be the reason you win. He might be
Mm.
the reason you lose, but he's not going to be the reason you win.
So he's the right. In that case, he's the right guy for Cleveland because they don't need a game breaker, or do they?
No, it means that they're limited in how far it is that they can go. They can go as far as Nick
Mm,
Chubb and take him with a really strong running game. Miles
mm.
Garrett in a really dominant defense.
He can't win no playoff games for you.
Some legitimate receivers with T. Higgins and
Some legitimate receivers. He
Jones
said,
Drew
there
and
you go. There you go.
Jarvis Landry.
Those I would call those decent receivers.
Well, I mean, would Aaron Rodgers take that team to the playoffs? Ask yourself that question. I mean, you have to ask yourself the question with regards to what other
with a good defense,
with a good defense,
with that same defense, if they were just to switch roles.
If you just interjected Aaron Rodgers into that team instead of Baker Mayfield, would they win?
Probably so. Yeah. I mean,
okay,
probably so.
Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, probably not.
No. Okay, so you're saying Baker's better than Kirk Cousins. Okay. So
I like Baker. I think
Russell Wilson.
I mean, with the running, he's proven when he has the running game and good defense, what he's can do.
So then Russell Wilson. Okay, so not that good. Derek Carr.
Derek Carr is unproven. He's not even. I take Baker over Derek Carr.
Okay, Justin Herbert.
Oh, come on, stop it. I take Justin Herbert over.
Okay, so you got him below him. So you got Baker Mayfield about middle of the road from what I'm hearing. I can name some names, and you're not shy to say no. That dude instead of Baker.
But I'm just saying, he's not bad, is what I'm saying. But they still should be producing. He has all the tools that
they're right around where they should be.
5-4, they should be better than that. I got them beating the Patriots. I think they're a better team. I got to beat the Patriots this weekend, and we'll see. And I still have your guy, Mac Jones winning 8 games this year as it tells you on one of these tickers. So, where I had him on here, didn't I? Mac Brown. I said Mac Jones. There you go, Mac Browns.
It's Mac.
It's Mac Brown. What I say, Mac Jones? I know that's what I said. But I was Mike Jones. What happened to my
the guy that you're referring to is Mac
Jones. Is Mac Brown leading the Patriots to 8 wins? That's what I was saying. So I'm saying Baker's going to beat the Patriots, even though I have Mac Brown winning 8 games. He's going to lose this one. This is what I'm trying to say to you. But I was saying,
what I'm trying to say to you is that Mac Brown is an old coach for the University of North Carolina.
Texas. Who is it?
Mac Jones is the quarterback for the New England Patriots, former quarterback of the University of Alabama. That's what I'm trying to explain.
Mac Jones, good one. Why am I calling him Mac Brown? It was actually Mac Jones. I still have Mac Jones winning 8 games with the Patriots this season.
Looking more and more likely. Good pick.
And even though even though I got the Browns beating them this weekend, we got Buffalo Bills. We both agree with Buffalo. Both agree with Pittsburgh, Tampa Bay, Arizona, the Chargers. I got Philly beating Denver. I think Philly, Hurts is going to win some games for you. This is the type of game he wins against Teddy Bridgewater in Denver. Nobody's watching. This is the type of game he wins. And you go on Bridgewater.
I like the Broncos and what they do consistently just to kind of stay afloat, man. They're not going to really beat really good teams, but they're not going to lose to really bad teams. And teams in the middle, you're going to be in a fight, and they're probably better.
So that's interesting. We agree on the rest of the games. We got Green Bay winning. We got the Chiefs winning and the Rams winning. The Rams annihilating those guys. It should be so. Those are our picks for this coming up week, fans. You want to know our confidence picks? I got Baltimore 1, Buffalo 2, the Rams 3, Arizona 4, and I got most confidence in Dallas winning with 5 points. Cleveland He has Baltimore with 5 points, the Rams with 4 points, Indy with 3 points, Buffalo with 2 points, and the Buccaneers with 1 point. So we'll see how that plays out. Real quickly on our fantasy football conversation that we were having, a follow up to our fantasy football conversation that we were having earlier. As I stated, Cleveland is 7-2. I'm 5-3, or excuse me, 3-5. Let me turn that around. 3-5. That's
Wow.
only that's only that's only 3 games out of first place right there, with more than half the season to go. Well, with slightly less than half the season to go. So I got some room to turn around. This kick is time for me to kick it in. I'm coming down the backstretch. This is the final stretch before the final curve, and I think I got some here. I think I got some. I identified as some talent who's been sitting out there untended to. We give him some TLC, and I'm looking for some big points the second half of the season. So Cleveland, you better watch out. And that bounty is official.
Yeah, sure. Whatever we were talking about, Ken. Yeah. Much of your but okay.
See how he does. He's in first place. He's Oh my goodness! If I ask him, he just want me to ask him how he got in the first place, or something. He wants me to like, what was the biggest move he made all off season? He couldn't even tell me that if I asked him that question.
I absolutely could tell you what my biggest draft pick was.
Who was your biggest draft pick?
The Buffalo defense, the way they've been playing, coming through, 15 to 20 points a game. I mean, they've just been stellar for me.
And the tight end, who'd you get the advice from your tight ends?
Got George Kittle's my tight end.
And you got the guy at Cincinnati. He was putting up big points.
Oh yeah, Azuma. Yeah, he's been quite a nice substitute. So yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, my team is so versatile. I don't really look at them like that. They just all are.
See what I'm saying? So this is why we don't have any fantasy football talk, and we're not gonna have any much very fantasy football talk until I close this gap here. Right now, I'm down behind 3 games, and I'm gonna close this gap. I got about it's week 9, so I got 7 weeks to do it, 6 weeks to do it, and I think I can turn it around. Going 6-0 is a hell of a start, right? Would you rather be in first place in first half of the season, or first half in first place the second half of the season? You can let me know.
First place in the first half of the season, Cam, because that means everyone has to come and get you. And as you know, injuries happen, attrition happens, movement happens around the league. So yeah, you'd rather kind of pad yourself with that type of established lead, so that the other players, have to come and try and find you.
Well, that's
where you'd rather be.
If I search you down, I'm gonna rather be.
Well, Cam, that's not going to happen, bro. So.
Well, we're on a search. My guys are on a search. Fans, want to thank you guys for tuning in. You could, by the way, answer this question: would you rather win the first half of the season or the second half of the season in your fantasy football team? Answer that question for me. You can send your response to my Twitter page, and that will be what's good in sport. That's what's good in the letter N, sport singular. Go ahead and answer that question for me. Send me a message. Let me know that you're tuning in. And Cleveland, what's your if you agree with Cleveland, you can go ahead and tweet Cleveland. What's your Twitter handle?
Yeah, we got @CleveyWonder on Twitter and Cleveland Steel on Instagram.
Well, either way, I know I'll be winning that one, Cleveland. So thanks for tuning in, fans. Cleveland, as always, thanks for your time. Fans, let me leave you, before we let you go, let me leave you with this quote here. There are only 2 options regarding commitment. You're either in or you're out. There's no such thing as in between. And that's from the great Pat Riley. Once again, there's only 2 options regarding commitment. You're either in or you're out. There's no such thing as life in between. That's Mr. Great Pat Riley. So be committed to what you do always, and always stay committed to what you're doing. This is your man Cam. Cleveland, thank you for your time. As always, fans, thank you for tuning in. Please pass the word. Make sure everybody subscribe to Voice of the Fans podcast on YouTube. That's Voice of the Fans on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to that page to get this instant link to our podcast every Wednesday we do the show, and then you get a lot of NBA, NFL content from us moving forward. Thank you again for tuning in, Cleveland. Thank you for your time, big guy. Holler at you soon.
All right, right on, bro.